On June 12th, 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark officially released to the public, and it was met with wonderful praise. Now, 40 years later, let's rank all 4 Indiana Jones films. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Diz TV. If this is your first time here, welcome home. We are so glad to have you. And as I mentioned, today we're going to be ranking all 4 of the Indiana Jones films from the worst to the best. I will also be including my rating as well as the fun factor down below here for each of the films, as I won't be rating them. Instead, I am ranking them. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this video. Kicking it off at number 4 is number 4, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Now, this one isn't bad at first. Like, the start of it is pretty well done. Of course, there are some things that are kind of weird, such as Indiana Jones surviving a nuclear blast in a fridge. That's odd. But other than that, this film is good. It has some very historical tones in it, with such as the Red Scare, which makes it very, very intriguing. The downside of this film, though, really is the second half. It starts off great, it starts off as this great adventure, but this idea of paranormal activity really gets not only crazy, but just doesn't make sense, and part of it doesn't really fit the Indy universe. You take a look at the last 3 movies, they had a magical rock in Temple of Doom, you had the Holy Grail, and the Ark of the Covenant. Those are 3 things that are mystical powers. 2 of them more Jewish and Christian descent. Another is a local Indian religion. And so paranormal activity, space, and all that, I don't know, it doesn't fit. But overall, it's pretty good. I give it a 7.7 out of 10, and with a fun factor of 3. Coming in at number 3 is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I would rank this higher, but honestly, I forgot how scary and intense this was. A very dark shift from the original Raiders of the Lost Ark. Temple of Doom, the prequel/sequel, whatever you want to call it, it's a good film, but it just is super flippin' scary, and so many screams and animal eatings and bugs and ripping people's hearts out of their chest. It's a huge tone shift and is terrifying. I mean, that's why we have the PG-13 rating today, was literally because of this movie. This movie does have its good moments. It really fleshes out Indy's character, and it does give us some great memorable characters, namely Short Round. Overall, it's a good movie that really pushes the boundaries for an action-adventure type of film, and really pushed the boundaries of movie ratings in general. And speaking of ratings, I give it a 7.9 out of 10, and with a fun factor of 2. Coming in at number 2 is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, a back to form after the very intense Temple of Doom. This movie is a lot of fun. It's full of a lot of action, brings back the Nazis in this one, and also introduces us to Indiana Jones's father, brings back memorable characters like Sala. I love this movie just because it really just is a lot of fun. The characters are great, the moments are great, what they're searching for is really, really cool, and just, it's a very interesting combination of a father-son journey that is different than what anyone could have expected. It's unique to see the contrast between Henry Jones Sr. and technically Henry Jones Jr. Overall, this movie is good and I really do enjoy it. I give it a 8.2 out of 10, with, of course, a fun factor of 4. But coming in at the number 1 spot, what else can it be but Raiders of the Lost Ark? Come on, it's the big staple movie of the Indiana Jones franchise, and also one of the big staple movies of the 1980s, as well as a staple movie in the action-adventure genre. It brought us into the world of Indiana Jones for the first time, and many of us, including myself, wished to be like Indy. We wanted to wear a fedora, have a bullwhip, and of course, search for lost relics in history. And this movie really pulled it in. From top to bottom, it is one of the best movies of all time, with one of the best scores of all time. It really is a fantastic adventure from beginning to end. For my rating, I give it a 9 out of 10, with, of course, a fun factor rating of 5 out of 5. So that's it. That is my current ranking of the Indiana Jones franchise. Subject to change, of course, with next year, we are expecting to get the final installment of the Indiana Jones series with the 5th movie. We'll see how that turns out. I really hope it's good. I hope you enjoyed this video. I do love the Indiana Jones series. I may have sounded like I was bashing it, but I really do love this series. It's a lot of fun, and it's enjoyable. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell to be notified for more videos on Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, the parks, and so much more. I'll see you all in the next video. Adventure is out there. Good